listeners and viewers. I'm your host, Grace Oppa. Today, my special guest, Angela Constantino. How can a survivor of abuse, how can they reclaim their confidence? And what are the stages of regaining their confidence?
That's a good question. Okay. Regaining their confidence, the first step is what I was talking about before, to surround yourself with people who are on a higher level than you. Okay. Being involved in a community of sisterhood. And I have a Facebook group that is very, very supportive. Women who have come out of domestic violence. So be surrounded by a community of women of sisterhood. And reclaiming confidence requires a lot of mindset work, what I talked about earlier. Journaling, focusing on gratitude, focus on what you are grateful for now and not focus focus on what you do have right now. For example, you have a roof over your head, okay?
Yes.
You woke up and you took your first breath and you took a shower. That's confidence. It is. That's a huge step. But just focus on gratitude, journaling, writing things down, journaling, meditation. That's what I did. And at that time, 16 years ago, I became involved in a network marketing company that changed my life. So that was huge for me. And I was able to reclaim my confidence. But that comes from within. I give women the tools and techniques to do that, but that has to come from them. They have to be willing to do the work, because if they're not willing to do the work, then how can they reclaim their confidence? How could they step into their truth? So I help them navigate through that process. And then like I said, I leaned on God, focused on Bible scriptures, and that was huge for me too. And, I'm a believer in God, and I believe that God has a special plan. So God was actually reconstructing me into a new version of myself. And I actually, give you those tools to help you do that. The biggest thing for women is to overcome that fear, to overcome the fear and the self-doubt. So that is huge. And I help you navigate through that process. What are your doubts? What are your fears? And actually, I just released, it's called faith-based journal prompts. So these are self-reflection prompts that will help you reclaim your confidence. And it's a free gift that I am offering to your audience. So that's a free gift last week. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I would love to help these women, because I know women overseas, they suffer from domestic violence and they don't have the right resources. So I came up with these reflection journal prompts to help you navigate through that process. So that will certainly help. That is certainly a first step, everything starts with the first step, meaning do it now, don't do it later, because the longer that you put it off, the longer that your journey is going, the longer that you're going to be in that survival mode, because you can only stay in survival mode for so long.
Thank you. I was also going to add that safety and stabilization, as well as saying to yourself, you've experienced abuse, but it was not your fault. It's very important.
That's very important, right? It's not your fault. The abuse is not your fault. It isn't. Because unfortunately, we as women were conditioned to believe that we are not worthy and not good enough.
Another thing is to reclaim and narrate your own personal story, because people's experience of abuse is different, right? The way you experienced abuse might be different from the way I experienced abuse. So it's good to actually narrate your own personal story.
Yes. I rewrote my story, and it's on my website, letsbreakthesilence.com. So I rewrote my story of how I rediscovered me and stepped into my truth. So yes, you have the power to rewrite your story. There is power in sharing your story, and there's nothing to be ashamed of.
That's true. It's a journey.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. Just share your story with the world.
Yeah.
I know that there are some family members who don't support that, but tough. You have a story to share with the world, and you want to make an impact on people's lives, just do it.
Be safe and be positive. Also, don't forget to visit our social media handles: TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, at Rising Above Shadows of Abuse. Take care and bye for now.